Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a genuinely fascinating concept straight from the world of premium strategy consulting. We are breaking down the framework behind the Verdict Studio and their highly methodical approach to elite business intelligence. Listen, if you've ever thought about starting a side hustle, buying a franchise, or investing in some glossy new opportunity, this is exactly what you need. We're going to unpack how to use elite evidence-based intelligence to literally save yourself from making incredibly costly business mistakes. Let's get right into it.
What if the business opportunity you're so excited about is actually designed to fail? It's kind of a chilling thought, right? We have all seen them, those flashy ads for new startups, multi-level marketing programs, or, those super expensive online courses. It's so incredibly easy to get swept up in the momentum and all the big promises. But the hard, unvarnished reality is that so many of these are built entirely on hype, not on actual, solid business foundations. It completely turns our normal assumptions upside down.
Which brings us to the core premise of this whole approach. Before you invest thousands, get the verdict. Seriously, that fear you have of wasting your hard-earned money, it is incredibly real and, frankly, it's entirely justified. You absolutely need objective, third-party validation before you make any sort of serious financial commitment. I mean, think about it. You wouldn't buy a house without getting a thorough inspection, right? So why on earth would you dump your capital into a business opportunity without rigorously checking the fundamentals first? Okay, let's dive into this because the psychology here is just fascinating. Most people, and we're talking incredibly smart people here, waste money because they operate on hype. They make highly emotional decisions driven by pressure, scarcity, and glossy marketing. But the Verdict Studio, they operate entirely on evidence. This is that elite strategy consulting approach we talked about. It blends the hardcore skepticism of investigative journalism with deep business intelligence and pure logic. It literally strips the emotion right out of the equation.
Hope is not strategy. Hype is not evidence. This is just such a powerful anchor. Going in blind and simply hoping for the best is a surefire way to watch your capital disappear. It definitely agitates that very real fear of the unknown, but it also gives us the cure. We really need to shift away from the anxiety of taking a blind leap and transition into a desire for absolute, undeniable clarity. So let's look at exactly how this elite intelligence process actually works.
Section 1. The 5 critical areas. Professional business opportunity analysis. The Verdict Studio exists for one incredibly straightforward reason: to help you make smarter business decisions before you waste your time or money. And they do this by running every single opportunity through a ruthless, highly professional analysis. They openly share this transparent methodology to build immense authority and trust. It's not some secret magic trick, it's a rigorous, evidence-based checklist. They rigorously analyze uniqueness, market readiness, real demand, brand staying power, and hard unit economics. Let's break down exactly what each of these 5 critical areas really mean. First up is uniqueness. This means taking a hard look at whether the business model truly stands out in the marketplace, or if it's really just a cleverly disguised, easily replicated imitation. Evaluating uniqueness is absolutely crucial. It's literally how you avoid dumping your savings into heavily saturated markets, like certain MLMs or generic e-commerce trends, where you're just one of 10,000 people trying to sell the exact same thing to the exact same audience. Next is market readiness. This is all about determining if your target audience and the current economic climate are actually prepared to adopt this specific opportunity. And this brilliantly illustrates why timing is just as important as the idea itself. You could honestly have a phenomenal product, but if the market isn't educated enough or financially ready to pay for it right now, that business is going to face a massive uphill battle. The third pillar is real demand. This means cutting through the noise and distinguishing between manufactured marketing hype and an actual verifiable consumer need. It is so important to understand the difference between the illusion of demand, which, let's be honest, is usually just created by a massive marketing budget, and the reality of true market pull. Ask yourself, are consumers actually searching for the solution, or are you just being sold a really good story? Then we have brand staying power. This step evaluates the long-term viability of the opportunity rather than just chasing some fleeting high-pressure trend. Going all in on short-lived fads is honestly one of the fastest ways to burn through your capital. You absolutely need sustainable brand power if you want a reliable return on your investment years down the line, long after that initial launch excitement completely wears off. Finally, the 5th area. Hard unit economics. This is about stripping away all the excitement, the flashy networking events, and the big promises, to strictly analyze the unglamorous numbers. You have to ensure that profitability is mathematically sound. Digging into the raw math is the ultimate safeguard against emotional decision-making. Simply put, if the margins don't work on paper, they absolutely will not work in reality. Let's move to and see how this builds into our next section. Pursue, pivot, or burn. Unbiased analysis outcomes. After putting an opportunity through that grueling analytical process, every single client receives one of 3 definitive outcomes. No ambiguity, no maybe. The first outcome is pursue. Getting a pursue verdict gives you ultimate decision confidence. Why? Because you aren't just guessing anymore. Your decision to move forward is now backed by hard, irrefutable evidence, logic, and professional analysis, rather than just hope. You can confidently invest your capital knowing the fundamentals are structurally sound. The second possible outcome is pivot. Now, this verdict offers incredible relief from uncertainty. It essentially means the core idea might actually have real merit, but the current strategy you're looking at is flawed. A pivot verdict helps you adjust that strategy so it actually fits market realities, completely saving you from launching the wrong version of what could be a genuinely great idea. And finally, we have the burn verdict. Honestly, this is arguably the most valuable verdict of all. The burn verdict stops you dead in your tracks before you invest thousands of dollars and potentially months or years of your life into a fundamentally flawed system. It is the ultimate no-nonsense reality check. So the crucial point is, a burn verdict doesn't mean they just say no and send you on your way. They actually redirect you toward a smarter opportunity that aligns with your strengths and the actual market reality. It isn't just a harsh rejection. It is a protective redirection. It's a highly strategic pivot away from a financial disaster, pointing you towards a path that actually makes logical sense. Before you invest your money, invest in clarity. This beautifully frames their elite business intelligence service not as some extra business expense, but as a totally necessary protective measure. Clarity is the ultimate shield against hype and high-pressure sales tactics. When you have clarity, you have control. It's really that simple. Section 3, secure your verdict, limited capacity intake. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how they handle their client take. Because this level of analysis requires such intense research. Honestly, it's akin to deep investigative journalism. The verdict studio operates on a strictly limited capacity basis to maintain that premium quality. They are opening exactly 6 client spots in a highly transparent tiered structure. You've got 3 spots for a diagnostic report at $45, 2 spots for a deep written report plus a Zoom strategy session at $90, and just 1 premium slot for the elite verdict intensive at $500. This exclusivity is firmly based on their actual workload and maintaining incredibly high-quality analysis, not some fake artificial scarcity. It's just incredibly straightforward. The call to action here is very clear and authoritative. DM verdict if you want clarity before you invest. Applications close at midnight or when capacity is reached. It perfectly maintains that calm confidence and premium elite consulting energy we've been talking about. There's no loud, scammy shouting here. Just a simple, highly logical next step if you are ready to protect your capital. And that brings us to the final takeaway, the verdict studio. Unbiased analysis, irrefutable direction. This perfectly encapsulates their entire mission. So I'm going to leave you with this provocative thought. The very next time you feel that emotional pull of a glossy new business opportunity, I want you to stop and ask yourself, are you acting on hope and hype, or are you operating on hard, undeniable evidence? Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and remember, always get the verdict first. Catch you next time.